Alright guys, so today we have something pretty cool to show you in Monster Energy Supercross 3. This is the Legends Pack DLC. It includes James Stewart, Davi Millsaps, Tim Ferry, and Rick Johnson. On the CR250 two-stroke, bit of a throwback here, on the 1986 Anaheim Supercross replica track. Before we start, I do want to say thank you to Milestone for allowing me to show you this DLC before it releases. This is awesome. It is probably one of the better DLCs that Milestone has released with any of their moto games. It's really well done. I mean, I feel like the track is actually really fun. It's scaled to the game quite well. I actually wasn't sure when I heard about it how well, the 1986 Anaheim was gonna play in the game. The way the track plays, it kind of reminds me of the LA Coliseum DLC from Supercross 2. Similar to that, if you guys remember that DLC, it reminds me and plays similar to that. So they did a really good job with how it scales and plays in the game, and not having it underscaled or whatever. Now I do show you some first person here if you did want to see some first person on Rick Johnson's CR250 two-stroke. We do show you some of that, and a little bit later we switch over to James Stewart riding the 1986 Anaheim here in the mud, which was pretty fun too in Time Attack. But the things I really notice about this DLC is, yeah, it's super fun because the track is actually really fun and scaled really good. The two-stroke of Rick Johnson is pretty awesome. Actually, it steals the show, to be honest with you. And the detail they put into it. At the beginning it shows the preview of the riders and everything. They had they even had it as if it was recorded back in the day. The quality, the picture was grainy. It wasn't super HD as it would be. I'm old enough to have grown up watching TV before it was like hardcore HD. I know some of you guys might not have experienced that, but it actually looks really, really good as far as trying to recreate that 80s feel, just with the atmosphere, the quality of the preview you see before the race starts. The starting gate obviously isn't what we have today. This was a bit before my time, but I did get the feeling of it in the 90s. So I feel like Milestone did a fantastic job with every part of this DLC. I don't know exactly what it's going to retail for, but I feel like no matter what, it's probably worth it. It's one of, if not the best DLC they've given us. I mean, the playground last year was really good, and it was a bunch of content for not a bad price. And content versus price is always something to look at, but this DLC gives you a decent amount. I mean, you get the track and you get the 4 or 5 legend riders, so you get decent content. I'm assuming it's going to probably retail for $5 to $7, similar to most of their other DLCs, but it's so polished. Bear with me because I definitely am not a first-person guy, especially in this game, because I know some of you guys really enjoy the first-person camera angle in this version of Supercross. I actually don't. I feel like they've had a better first-person camera in the past, but I did want to show you because I do know a bunch of you guys prefer to play the game and these games in general in first person. But yeah, the best part about this DLC is the CR250 two-stroke. The only thing I wish I could do is use Rick Johnson's CR250 two-stroke for my custom rider, to have my custom rider on this CR250. That would be super awesome. I wish I could do that. It doesn't appear you can. And the other big request for the future, if they do this again, is to have James Stewart on his KX125 in his white and pink gear on a KX125. I mean, that would have been a perfect throwback. We could have got two strokes and Stewart on the 125. Like I said, if they do it in the future, maybe that's something they could think about. Maybe pick a different track, maybe a different era. Maybe they already have that planned for the future. I don't really know. But it's just a suggestion that I think would make these DLCs even better. So my last suggestion would be to have, for future ideas if they do this again, to have like, I mean, coming to an agreement between these riders and Milestone might be tougher than we think. I mean, the King of Supercross, 72 wins. I really feel like he needs to be in this DLC as well, but maybe they haven't planned for a future DLC. I'm not really sure. So, but you know, it's not a complaint. I feel like this DLC is well-rounded and has a bunch of content in it, and the track was great, and the two-stroke of Rick Johnson here is fantastic. It's so much fun to use this and play with it. And we actually do switch over to a different Supercross track to use this CR250 two-stroke. After we finish here, we do switch over to James Stewart. But I do want to show you the end here because, well, first of all, we're on the final lap, and the what do I want to call it? The trophy presentation. The trophy presentation is different. They did it. They did such a good job. I mean, it was fantastic. Just a tiny thing. Just a tiny thing, but I noticed it. Maybe not everybody will, but it's just a nice touch to add to it. So here you're gonna see it in a tiny bit. There it is on the box. All right, so we're switching over to James Stewart at 1986 Anaheim, and this time it is muddy. Like I said, I mean, this is awesome. It really is. But I feel like you could basically replicate James Stewart in the game. It doesn't. His character doesn't feel special in the game. You know what I mean? I feel like I could just make a generic James Stewart in the game. It would have been so much more meaningful and awesome if you would have had a throwback Stewart with 259 and the pink and white gear on the KX125. You know what I mean? So hopefully in the future they can do that. But I still wanted to show you James Stewart because it's James Stewart. And to wrap the video up, we are using Rick Johnson on his CR250 two-stroke at Minnesota. And right away out of the gate, we just owned that big line. The two-stroke power. Yes, the power of the two-stroke. It's awesome. You know, it's awesome. I wish they could have added a few other riders to the pack. Maybe some more two-strokes. People have been asking for it. I'm just shocked. I'm completely shocked that they have this CR250 two-stroke in here. Because I was pretty sure that they had said that they didn't plan on having any two-strokes in. So I don't really know if this was a last-minute deal or what. I mean, I guess they didn't have any two-strokes in the main game, but I just assumed the way they were talking that they didn't plan on having any two-strokes in the game at all. I just wish I could use the 252 stroke with my own custom rider. But that's just being really picky. Please don't take that in the wrong way. I love this DLC. It is probably my favorite DLC from Milestone. Let me know in the comments how you guys feel about it. What would you like to see added in the future? So that's the end of this video. I'm going to let it play out for a bit though so you can hear the two-stroke sound in all its glory. without me talking over it. So you guys and girls are absolutely amazing. Thank you so much for the support on the channel lately. It really does mean a lot. And until the next video, take it easy.